What's up, guys? My name is Oh My God, your head's gone, and today we are playing a game of domination on the map Grind. So this is the 4th Revolution DLC map gameplay that I'm releasing today, and it is of course again another Swarm gameplay, but this time on the map Grind. So I've gone to Swarm on all 4 maps, and my thinking behind that was essentially getting Swarms kind of requires some strategic gameplay, so by just motivating myself to get Swarms by setting that standard and then uploading the gameplay, hopefully you guys can get something out of the gameplay, like certain routes that I take and certain attachments that I use on my gun and stuff like that. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about all 4 of the maps now, my final thoughts on them, my final thoughts on the Peacekeeper and stuff like that, so you guys can, I guess, make your own decision and contrast what your thoughts are on the map, and I would love to hear your guys' opinion on the map as well. So go ahead and leave a comment, telling me what you think about the map. I'd really appreciate that, and I'll definitely read every single comment. I try to reply to every single comment I get. So but yeah, so let's move on. So we'll start off with Grind. Grind is probably my least favorite map out of them all, and the reasoning for this is that it's sort of designed in such a way that you can get flanked really easily, and it's hard to, I guess, kind of kill enemies if you have 2 flags, because they'll keep respawning kind of in the same area, so you can't push through their spawn because they will respawn behind you and you'll end up dying. So you have to be really careful on this map. This is probably the most difficult one out of the 4, which does kind of make sense because Treyarch's goal was to have a map sort of with no edges and stuff like that, just kind of circular round corners that aren't really corners but rather sort of spheres or whatever you want to call them. But that kind of did definitely, I guess, add some difficulty to the gameplay, but that made it that much more rewarding when I finally did get the Swarm on this map. So this was the last one, and I think it was the most difficult. But let's move on now. I actually realized I'm not going to have enough time in this commentary because the clip's kind of short to finish all the details of every map, so I'm going to make a more in-depth video in the future, but for now I'll just give a couple of key points and a couple of thoughts on each of the other maps and the Peacekeeper. So Mirage, I like Mirage. It kind of reminds me of Castle from World at War, and it's a pretty good, it's a very physically or visually appealing map, and overall it's not too cramped. Like, I feel Grind is really cramped, whereas that map feels like it's spaced out just right, so I like that map. Moving on to Downhill is another map I like. I think those are my 2 favorite maps, Mirage and Downhill. Downhill's kind of another kind of more open map. There's not too much junk in the way everywhere. There aren't too many head glitches or anything like that. So that map is definitely very appealing to me because I prefer assault rifles, and I prefer this new gun because it's a hybrid, but it just kind of works out perfect for that map. And moving on to the final map, Hydro, I don't like that map much because it's just really symmetrical and there's so many head glitches, and I just don't like the way that map's set up. So my 2 favorite, Mirage and Downhill. My 2 least favorite, Grind and Hydro. And the Peacekeeper, I really like it, so that's definitely probably going to be one of my favorite guns and one of the guns I use all the time now. But that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And until next time, peace out, people.